Hello and welcome to Bahrain Now, your source of local initiatives, happenings, talents, and trends. I'm your host, Khalid Hijras, here to walk you through our exciting lineup of segments and personalities from around Bahrain. So don't go away, we'll be right back. The Bahrain Geospatial Convention 2026 was recently held in the presence of the President of the Survey and Land Registration Bureau, the SLRB, alongside several senior officials from the public and private sectors, and with the participation of more than 250 specialists and experts. The convention was organized by Microcenter Gulf in cooperation with ESRI under the theme Empowering Bahrain's Vision Through GIS Innovations, and this event has supported national efforts towards enhancing the use of geospatial technologies to achieve digital transformation and sustainable development, aligning with the objectives of Bahrain Economic Vision 2030. And to talk more about that, we are pleased to be joined here in the studio by the Survey Affairs Advisor at the Survey and Land Registration Bureau, Mr. Mubarak Bouhidji, and Strategy and Business Development Manager at Microcenter Gulf, Mr. Mahesh Rajan. Welcome. How are you both doing today?
Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure to have you both here. Now, I'd like to start with you, Mr. Mubarak. How does the Bahrain Geospatial Data Convention 2026 represent for the Kingdom of Bahrain's digital transformation journey?
I believe it's a very important link between the digital transformation happening in Bahrain and the projects and initiatives raised in the convention. So if we try to link this to the pillars of Bahrain Vision 2030, you can think of a strong link between fairness, sustainability, and competitiveness with the type of initiatives that we have announced. For example, we are currently having a system to detect changes to the built and natural environment, which is very important for controlling and monitoring the environment, which is a very valuable resource to the Kingdom of Bahrain. And hence, this will promote the sustainability pillar of Bahrain Vision 2030.
Absolutely. And Mr. Mahesh, what role does the private sector play in supporting innovation and expanding the adoption of geospatial solutions here in the Kingdom of Bahrain?
First, thank you for having me here. And basically, I'm from Microcenter. Microcenter, we take a lot of pride in saying this, that we are the sole distributor of ESRI Incorporation, the world leader in GIS in the Kingdom of Bahrain. So if you see our role as a private sector, as a distributor of ESRI, we actually do a lot of knowledge transfer sessions. We actually conduct events like the Bahrain Geospatial Convention in order to create a platform for all of them to come, communicate, and to transfer knowledge, ideas, and so on. So this is one of our key roles that we play here. We do a lot of training to transfer the platform knowledge to the government as well as to academia. So that's one of the most important things that we do actually in the kingdom.
Wonderful. And back to you, Mr. Mubarak. How does the convention align with the strategic directions of Bahrain Economic Vision 2030, particularly in areas of digital government and sustainable development?
So as I mentioned, there is a direct link between the pillars of Bahrain Vision 2030 and the initiatives we have announced at the convention. So another example is that we have created the Bahrain Geoportal. So things like land transactions and the value of those land transactions are being offered to the public, which is very important to create competitiveness among investors, because now they have a lot of metrics to make a decision on what to invest on in Bahrain. So I see a direct link between the three pillars of Bahrain Vision 2030 and the initiatives that we take and announce on the convention.
Wonderful. And Mr. Mahesh, back to you. How are GIS applications being utilized in vital sectors such as construction, utilities, telecommunications, and environmental sustainability?
If you see, GIS is not just restricted to these sectors. Actually, GIS can be applied in varied sectors. Like that's why we are entered this era called geo-generalist era. So which means that GIS can be applied in various sectors. But when it comes specifically to construction, GIS can be used for monitoring sites. It can also be used for permitting systems, like building permit systems and so on. When it comes to utilities and telecom, it is pretty much the entire life cycle of the infrastructure can be handled by GIS. Like for example, starting from plan, design, build, operate. So the entire life cycle can be handled in GIS.
And I'm actually curious, why has GIS become such a fundamental pillar in supporting smart government decision making in our present day?
GIS is not just a mapping tool anymore, as it was in the past. So it is pretty much it can apply for a varied application, as I said earlier. It actually helps in various aspects like planning, design, build operations. And it can also help to do smart decisions. Like using the data, you can actually do spatial validations, cross-checking what's in the field, and then you could actually plan and design your infrastructure. So this actually helps in better decision making for enterprises, governments, and even the private sector.
Wonderful. And back to you, Mr. Mubarak. How do GIS technologies contribute to enhancing and planning efficiency and improving the quality of government services provided to citizens and investors?
So a lot of the services that we provide at the government level and at the Survey and Land Registration Bureau, it is associated with geospatial data. For example, when you buy land, we must secure your right to this piece of land by delineating the boundaries of this land and making a record out of it. So by having all of this data in a GIS environment, we are able to provide efficient services, and we secure your rights in land. And we have other projects to monitor the built and the man-made environments. Thereby, we enhance the process of planning, because if you think about it, whenever you plan or design a new road, you need to know what exists in reality. So that's why we are creating something called the digital twin. So anything you see in reality, like the roads, the trees, the street furniture, the buildings, they're all have been accurately mapped and stored in our databases. So any government entity that looks to design or plan for a new project, they can rely on this accurate data to make the planning more streamlined.
Wonderful. And what are the most prominent strategic geospatial projects currently being implemented by the Survey and Land Registration Bureau?
So one of our prominent projects is called the 3D National Mapping of Bahrain. As I mentioned, if you have a digital replica of reality in terms of having records for whatever exists in reality in terms of buildings, roads, trees, then you can store this in a database, and then you can give access to everyone to this data through a web page that we call a geoportal. And this, of course, will allow people to utilize this data and turn it into applications. Another prominent project is that we're creating the workflow management system. So we are creating a digital workflow system whereby people can deal with the surveys directorate and all of the transactions related to that online. So there is no need for any paperwork or people coming to our building. So it's all digital. Another prominent project worth mentioning is the change detection project. So the idea behind this project is quite simple. You have satellite images captured at two different times, and then when you compare them, you get to know the changes that took place in the environment. And this is very important for our colleagues at the different government entities, because it allows them to monitor the environment, and this of course will lead to avoiding things like unwanted urbanization at the expense of the natural environment.
And can you elaborate a bit more on what added value the development of national 3D maps bring to land use planning, urban development, and infrastructure planning?
Sure. So if you think about it, any planning or design of infrastructure projects, it's happening in reality in 3D. So therefore, any design and planning that happens at the office should utilize a 3D environment. And again, this is the value of having a digital twin. So you have all of those digital assets stored in a database, and then if you decide to build a new road or assess the environmental impact of a new building, then you have all of this data available in a single environment where you can run simulations and then do your planning and design.
And going back to the National Geospatial Portal, if you could explain its role in integrating and sharing data among the different government entities.
Sure. Actually, we're very proud of the GeoPortal, SLRB GeoPortal. The idea behind it is quite simple, but its impact is profound. So the idea is that at the Survey and Land Registration Bureau, we have a lot of data sets, be it land transactions, land parcels, marine data, and topographic data, which is basically the elevation of the surface of land, trees, buildings, roads. So all of those data sets, they come from different sources. But the idea now with the GeoPortal, we have managed to collect them all in a single location, which is our database. And then this GeoPortal is nothing but a web page that gives you access to those data sets. And then our colleagues at the government level, they can utilize this GeoPortal to get the data that they need for their projects and operations.
And Mr. Mahesh, how does unified geospatial data platforms contribute to accelerating and improving the accuracy of strategic decision making at the national level?
The single word for it is collaboration, actually. So if you see, there are all the government agencies have their own data sets. And but if you see, when they collaborate with each other on a unified platform, which is actually headed by one of the government agencies, which is IGA, the Bahrain Spatial Data Infrastructure Platform. So all government agencies can share across, like how SLRB is having the portal. So all these information can be shared across in one unified space, where all the government agencies could hit into that platform and they can do their decision making. For example, maybe a permitting system. Municipality wants to do a municipal permit. So they can actually hit into the central database, fetch information, make a decision, issue the permit. So this is how a unified geospatial platform can actually leverage the entire decision-making process of the governments.
And in what ways has the Electricity and Water Authority benefited from GIS-based systems in managing assets and utility networks?
Yeah, thank you for asking that question, because Micro Center and EVA, we work very closely with each other. We are actually, if you see EVA is a forerunner in GIS. Actually, they have been also having a very large GIS database collection of the entire utilities and assets. And this is always up to date through a mechanism of field data collections through Micro Center. So this unified data which they have, they can actually use it for plan, design, build operations. They can also use it for integrating to, like, for example, a fiber optic system, like the SCADA system. And they can actually integrate with SCADA and come to know in reality what is happening in the field. And if there is some kind of an issue or a problem that happens in the field, on the infrastructure, GIS will actually tell you where this issue is because of the integrations between SCADA systems and the devices in the field. And it will tell you what to do, how to handle the incident, and you can actually dispatch your field crew to that location and solve the issue then and there, so that there is no disruptions in the network, and citizens will be benefited by that, actually.
Wonderful. And can you tell us a bit more about how ESRI's ArcGIS platform serves as a strategic tool to help organizations address complex challenges through spatial intelligence?
See, ESRI's geospatial platform, which is called the ArcGIS platform, is actually used by many large organizations across the world. If you're asking me how useful it is actually a platform where you can actually not only just manage data, you can view, query, analyze, share, and publish. You can also publish within your organization, or you can actually publish across, which is to the public. Both organization level data can be managed and also public level data can be managed. It's a very seamless platform consisting of the main pillars, which is actually the ArcGIS Pro, which is the desktop powerful tool. You have the ArcGIS, the server, and you have the portal, and basically you have multiple apps which is already ready and built on the platform. It's called as ArcGIS Solutions. ArcGIS Solutions is one of the largest collection of geospatial applications in the world, actually. So organizations can actually just use this platform and the ready-made apps to build, like for example, you want a dashboard. It's already there, actually. It's already available. All you have to do is use that application and build your dashboard and deploy it. So it's a very versatile platform, very suited for government, defense, homeland security, anybody, you say.
Wonderful. And back to you, Mr. Mubarak. What makes the Kingdom of Bahrain a regional leader in adopting geospatial technologies and data?
I believe the Kingdom of Bahrain has been successful in the early adoption of GIS into many of its government entities. And the key here is that not only we adopted GIS very early on, but even the recent years, as GIS advances, we take advantage of those advances. So, for example, in this convention, a lot of new technologies has been announced. And we're proud to say that we're keeping up with those technologies and we're adopting them. And this is what makes us leaders, because if you want to be a leader, not only you have to adopt those technologies, but improve them as you go along.
Wonderful.
Can I add to that?
Yes, go ahead.
Just to add to what Mr. Mubarak said, if you see Bahrain, the ESRI's first office was set up somewhere 20 years back. So Bahrain was an early adopter of GIS technologies, actually. Early adopters generally becomes leaders.
Brilliant. So. Thank you both for that answer. And Mr. Mahesh, what are the qualitative outcomes that are expected from the participation of more than 250 geospatial experts and specialists at this convention?
Actually, so thanks for asking that. We had more than 250 people in the convention. It actually served as a, we were really surprised by the quality of speakers, the information that is shared across in that convention was actually really great. We found that this convention, which we believe that we want to do it again in the next year, it serves as a cross-pollination platform. So basically, various government agencies have exhibited their, the projects that they have done on GIS, and they can actually share this information in this platform, and probably it can make GIS application much wider for other government agencies who are not fully adopted the technology. So I think it's a very good platform for cross-pollination, knowledge transfer, ideas sharing, and I think we should do it again.
Very well said, and hopefully there will be plenty of opportunities to do it again as well.
Yeah.
Mr. Mubarak, what are the long-term impacts that you aspire for the Bahrain Geospatial Data Convention 2026 to have in building an integrated and sustainable national geospatial ecosystem?
Well, following up on your previous question, so this large participation in the convention, I believe it reflects high awareness in Bahrain from organizations and individuals on the importance of GIS. So we're looking for this event to happen again and again, because now we have established that we have people that are aware of the importance of GIS, but we need to keep them up to date on the recent technologies and advances in GIS, so that we can keep improving our systems. And not only that, this is such a great opportunity for us to meet with our stakeholders and therefore come up with a more unified ecosystem among the government.
Very well said.
Just to add more to you, actually, during the convention we had participation from Earth iSpace from Singapore, We had INS from Macedonia. So you can see the reach. The Bahrain Geospatial Convention, not just in Bahrain, it's actually across the world. So we had a lot of participation from other countries, like founders and CEO of Earth iSpace also gave presentations on this. So this really shows that the convention is not just Bahrain anymore. It's worldwide, actually.
Wonderful. I'd like to thank you both so much for joining us. I think I learned a lot about GIS today, and it's great to see what it's capable of and how it's flourishing in the Kingdom of Bahrain. Thank you guys so much again.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We have even more coming up here on Bahrain Now. And now let's take a look at what's going on beyond the studio in the following report.
The FAO recognized 4 Bahraini villages for its Global Agricultural Villages Award after they met all the established technical and procedural criteria. These criteria included institutional and field assessments, sustainable agricultural practices, conservation of natural resources, and the role of the local community in preserving agricultural heritage. This recognition is part of Bahrain's efforts to promote sustainable rural development and elevate the status of agricultural villages internationally by combining agricultural innovation, environmental protection, and showcasing traditional food identities. This initiative also provides Bahraini villages with opportunities to exchange experiences with their counterparts worldwide and reflects the national commitment to developing the agricultural sector and achieving food security through the application of sustainable practices and the development of local communities' capacities to conserve resources and maximize the benefits of agricultural experiences. This achievement underscores Bahrain's prominent position in international initiatives focused on food security and rural development, and highlights an advanced model of multifunctional villages that combine production, innovation, and the preservation of agricultural heritage, thereby promoting sustainability and community prosperity.
The farmers market continues to support all efforts made by Bahrain farmers throughout the year to ensure the continued availability of local agricultural products in all seasons. Bahraini farmers continue to plan, cultivate, and harvest according to carefully considered steps, benefiting from accumulated experience and modern farming methods. The market offers a range of agricultural products, from seasonal vegetables and fruits to locally manufactured agricultural products, making it a preferred choice for many families looking for fresh, high-quality products. The market in Hoorat A'ali is a direct showcase of these efforts, where producers meet with consumers without intermediaries, reflecting the value of local agricultural work and the importance of supporting national products throughout the year.
This brings us to the end of today's episode. We thank you for watching, and remember, you can always reach out to us on our social media accounts shown below. We'd love to hear from you. This was Khalid Hidris. Until next time, good night and God bless.